Okay, Solidify, Celestial, Zerachiel. She will be now aforementionedly called Zerachiel because I'm going to be saying her name a bajillion times this video to describe how broken this deck is, okay? So for starters, let's explain what her effect is. First of all, she's a lord, so no non-angel feathers, please. A special counterblast, 2 Celestials. She gets plus 5,000, whatever, right? That's kind of like the generic ability if Bowstrode is lazy. I can live with that. And now her limit break, which is why I think she is the best card in the whole set. Screw Dauntless Drive Dragon, not even Transcore. Zerachiel is where it's at, okay guys? Zerachiel's effect is, when you have another copy of Zerachiel in your damage zoner, you get the following ability, which is all your Celestials get plus 3,000 during your turn. So, it's really good, guys. I don't care what anybody says. That effect is one of the best in the whole game. Not even joking. Especially considering what Celestials have in the first place, okay? So, for starters, if you're fighting an 11,000 Vanguard, you have, what, the 9k booster, and then you have 12k attacker. I'm sorry I don't have their names, but if you run Celestials, then you know what I'm talking about, okay? You got the 9k booster. They have a 9k booster, people, and a 12k attacker, which is pretty much every archetype has. 12 plus 9 is 21, I believe, and then plus 6, which is from Zerachiel's effect, is equals to 27. 27,000 for a rearguard lane is phenomenally powerful for a rearguard, okay? Usually when you see rearguards, they're only 21,000 at best, but we're seeing a 26,000 without triggers. This is one of a very broken, in my opinion, just very difficult to like stop in general. Like, that is a lane you have the perfect guard, and it's not even the Vanguard attack. Speaking of the Vanguard attack, Zerachiel herself is 11,000. Unlike Sephiroth, where you need another copy of Sephiroth on the field, she just counts for herself. Comparing this to Sephiroth is like comparing a cockroach to an ant. Cockroaches are bigger and better, and ants are tiny and useless. Granted, they can carry 5 times the weight, but cockroaches are just infinitely more intimidating. So, yeah, Zerachiel is just the biggest of the cockroaches. That's kind of a bad analogy, if anything, but it's good, really good. So Zerachiel herself is 11,000, plus 3 is 14,000. With the 9k booster, she's at 26,000, and with the 5k starting Vanguard, it becomes an 8k booster. 8 plus 14 equals 22,000, which is good enough for an 11k Vanguard in my opinion. Sorry if I'm speaking fast, but there's a lot of math to this because Zerachiel's effect involves plus 3,000 to all of the units and requires specific planning. A lot of people think that it's autopilot, but in my opinion, you actually have to plan things out. You want to have the right boosters at the right time, at the right lanes, or else you're just not going to hit as strong as you can and should. You got to start planning out all these things, and it becomes an issue. So, sorry, I'm just giving scenarios, but yeah, I mean, hitting 26,000 rearguard lanes is a pretty good thing you can do. So for pros, Zerachiel's 11,000. Her ability is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. You don't even need a counterblast; it just happens. Plus 8,000, like that's a total of plus 18,000 if you have 6 rearguards on the field. Now, granted, not on the same card, but overall, plus 18,000 is pretty incredible for one card that doesn't counterblast. Period. One of the best, in my opinion. I mean, such a powerful card. Not a lot can stop it, and this is coming from 11,000. Like, really? Wow, you can just run a crit, and then they can't guard, and then you just crit them, and then game for them. Secondly, it's just really good, because Celestials have just the right support to enable them to do the things that they can do. It's just generally just a very powerful card, and I wouldn't doubt people for not using them. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of the end decks, and then I stomp on them because they can't guard 26,000. Yeah, like triple 26,000 lane is nothing to laugh about. Like, not even I could probably stop that easily. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm good or anything, but if I play smart, like, I have to play it like even more smart to try to evade Celestials, because their power is just phenomenally more powerful than any other deck I've ever seen. Like, Sephiroth comes close, but the fact that it can just be any Celestial is kind of overpowered if you ask me. Like, not just saying, you know, just in general, but, you know. Now for the cons. This card has 0 methods of plussing at all. The deck just doesn't plus. if you notice, just none of the cards plus. It's just utility to try get stuff done, but it just never pluses in general. So you have yourself seeing yourself running draw triggers, if anything running more than 4 draw triggers. Like right now I'm running 5, but I might push down to 4 because I do want the critical. But you do need the hand advantage due to the fact that you just need resources, because in order to make Zerachiel's effect just that good, you need cards on the field to begin with. So just run draw triggers because you're not plussing with this deck. Ever. Unless you're running Armoros, the Maiden of Libra, but it's not Celestial. I mean, you can run the 12k booster and be 21,000, but if you're fighting a cross ride, you're kind of stumped. So, yeah. If anything, the only plus that you do get is the break ride, which I think, as I said in the last video, makes this deck really good because Ramiel herself kind of zeroes out on her own. So, it's just a generally good card because you make up for the fact that you just broke road. So, Zerachiel and Ramiel is a very good combo in my opinion, and I'm kind of grateful for Bushiroad for doing that. Thanks, Bushiroad. But still, you don't plus ever. That's a big con of the deck. Secondly, having Zerachiel in Damage Zone is one of the most difficult liabilities to pull off in the whole deck. If you don't damage her, or you don't damage her period, you're just have a dead Zerachiel that can't really do anything. My bad. You're just stuck. Like, you're just stuck, not having to do anything. There are methods to doing that, such as the grade 1 no-seal that is coming out in set 13, and Solidify, which is an 8k that can search for Zerachiel and put her to damage zone. But if you don't get those in time, you're just dead, you know? Granted, the deck can pull it off due to the fact that Zerachiel can hit damage zone and then use the 5k booster to get the Solidify. That works too, but you need both Zerachiel in damage zone and Zerachiel in hand to ride the grade 3. So there's a lot of math involved on trying to make sure to get the Zerachiel in time, because you don't want to damage Zerachiel and then never get the other 3 Zerachiels, or else you just can't get them because there's no method of adding it to your hand unless you break ride with another Ramiel. So until the no-seal from grade 1 comes out, it's going to be really difficult to add Zerachiel and damage her at the same time in general. I mean, I pull it off pretty consistently, but for the most part, it is not the easiest thing to do in the world. So you gotta plan that out. Well, plan that out as well, because it's just not the easiest thing to do. But for the most part, it's generally consistent enough so that you do get the Zerachiel. And that's pretty much the only cons I can come up with at this moment. Zerachiel is just a very powerful card. The fact that you can just have really strong lanes for adequately no reason, including the Vanguard herself, is just a very generally more powerful deck. And if your opponent is not prepared for it, they will fall and crash and burn, and they'll lose. Celestials is a good deck. It is, in my opinion. I think it's better than the Yen Dauntless, in my opinion. It's just that power. I mean, sure, the Vanguard attacks, but their rear guards are never going to hit 20,000 ever, unless you boost Bar with Burning Horn, but it's never going to hit 21,000, which is the number that you want to hit. So I just honestly believe that Zerachiel is just phenomenally better. Even against Crossride, she's still really good. She can hit consistent 23,000 lanes, and if you're crazy enough, you can run that one Boris card and 13,000. But why, when you can run Break Ride, Zerachiel, broken, it's broken. I mean, 23,000 is still a really, really good number in general. It's not something to laugh about. So anyways, that's it for the video. Sorry it's late because these last 2 days were kind of hectic. But for the most part, I might do a deck profile about Celestials because I have the deck. It's a little bit unorthodox due to the fact that I don't have 4 Zerachiels, but it still gets the job done. It still is strong. If I get everything, then my opponent dies, but that applies for every deck in the universe, so I shouldn't say that. But for the most part, Celestials is great. I don't know why people aren't running more of it. Maybe because they think it's too broken. I don't know, but that's my 2 cents on it. It's super powerful, really good. Yeah. So, yeah. See you later, guys.